Greetings, everyone. I was getting ready to do this video and I was hesitating, just dragging my feet. Not sure where I was going to go with the message. But then I got a note from someone, and so it was confirmation that I need to talk about this. Now, let me go back. Let me roll the curtain back a few years. When I started YouTube, about a year into it, I started getting these emails from third parties asking me to join with them. They said that I was a storyteller and that they really liked my content and that they were able to push my channel to all kinds of new heights. But one of the most important thing is they said you could make a lot of money. And so if we manage you and we provide you with the tools that is necessary and we do behind the scene things, you are going to get very big. I contemplated it and I thought, well, the goal is not really to get very big. And the goal wasn't really to come out here and make money because at the time when I started YouTube, I didn't know you could make money on YouTube. If in fact, the platform was set up by a friend. She did everything for me. I even had to get my password from her and all of that. So I didn't know. To this day, the majority of my social media platform is set up by people. My Facebook page was set up by someone, by a friend, one of my colleagues. And Instagram, I recently found that there was 2 pages. I didn't set any of those, none. People have always come to me and say, oh, these things you share with us, you should be sharing with other people. When I first started my YouTube channel and folks would find the videos, they would tell people, their partners or friends would say, tell her to go on Instagram. And I hesitated to do that. And so I have an Instagram page, I have a Facebook page, and I'm really not that active on them. Because like I've told you before, there's a part of me that is not that social, but I love spending time sharing what I learn. I'm not saying that my knowledge is greater than anyone else's, but if I'm in school and I'm learning things, I get so excited about it that I would come home and tell my friends, especially friends who were older than me, who some didn't even get the chance to go to school. I'd be so excited. I'd be taking older women to my class. There's one friend of mine who said she never went to school, and I take her to my class with me so she could sit in that environment and experience that. And when I'm doing my assignments, especially literature, I would read the books, the stories to her, and we would brainstorm because if you study literature, whatever the word is, it has more meaning. There's a double meaning in it. So you could be reading about brown sugar, and what it's really talking about is slavery. That is really how life is. A lot of what you see in front of you isn't the whole truth. There's always something below the surface. And so when I was approached by so many third party over the years to say, I can push your content, I can push your content, you can make money, you can make money. Something about that didn't make me feel comfortable. Because, you see, there's this thin line where if you focus on doing the thing just for the money, you're going to go out of your way. You're going to be misled. You must do whatever you love, whether you make money or not. And that's what I would tell people. If you want to pick a career that is lasting, a career that you look forward to going to do every day, pick something that you love. And in the process of doing that, money will come. And if you're doing what you love and no money is coming, just be patient. Be patient. I know it's hard to watch folks, get by and they're doing very well and you're not. But remember, this money is a tool. And what you do with this tool is what going to determine if you are a skilled person. Do you understand? Okay. Now, what I wanted to talk to you today about is that loneliness that I feel or experience, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I feel a deep sense of loneliness sometimes. Feel like I'm existing in a room full of people, and I sometimes feel very lonely. So we're all vulnerable. We all have these feelings of loneliness. And I'm going to say to you that whatever you're given as a task, whatever purpose you have to fulfill in this world before you go, it is never going to be easy. You're going to be misunderstood. You're going to be judged. You're going to sometimes lose some things that are very important to you if you understand that. I'm also going to say that my concept of God might be different from many people, but who I perceive to be my God, I'm very reverent of, and I don't care if people don't like me or people cut me off. I can't afford to be cut off from that divine source, that guide. So, although they say the personal is political, there are a lot of things about myself that I would like to share, but I don't share. Maybe when the time is necessary for me to share certain things about myself, I'll share it. But in my experiences, some of the things that I've gone through in life that I have not shared publicly, it's those things that cause me to be reverent of whoever I see as divine. I don't play with this thing. I don't come out and say, God told me this thing if it is not true. I don't play with the name of God, even though that is a common name. But I don't play with that. I don't play with that, people. People, please understand that. Because I know the danger in doing that. I want to say also to folks who would email me or folks who come to me and share with me, that I don't know who you see me to be. I'm learning. Sorry, I'm learning. I don't even know who I am. There are times when folks will come to me and say, hey, you're this. They give me a title. Oh, I think you're like this. And I would research it. I would find, I don't know who you see me to be. I'm just trying to be a humble person, a humble servant, a servant, however, who is imperfect. At no point in life do I want anybody to think that I'm perfect because I have flaws. And I recognize those flaws within myself. And I try to burn out the things in me that are not good. And it's not an easy thing to do. When you recognize your weaknesses or your shortfalls in life, try to work on it, but don't be too hard on yourself. It takes time. Now, let me talk about these messages that I send out. When I'm sending a message, I don't just get up and just decide I'm going to bother somebody. I'm going to trouble people. When I get the message, it's either a dream while I'm sleeping or a vision while I'm awake. It is that inner person that comes to me and say, you must speak. Address it now. And there are times when I don't want to do it. So I don't want you to think that I'm obedient. I'm not obedient. However, in the past, when I was disobedient, I got punished. And I know I've said this before, but for those of you who are new, I would be punished. Sometimes I would be afraid to be insulted because with the territory, in bringing out a message, you are going to get insulted. You're going to be attacked. And it doesn't feel good because at the end of the day, yes, we are spirit beings, but we are more human. We're flesh. And so sometimes the insult gets to you and you're saying, why should I even care? Now, let me give you a story before I continue this. I have a friend and I still refer to her as my friend. In fact, she was like a sister to me. And I'm speaking this and I have tears in my eyes. And over the years of loving this person, there are times when I would get messages to give her and I didn't give it to her. I would keep those messages to myself because I don't want to hurt her feelings. For example, I was living in a place that she helped me to get. It was her boyfriend that owned that house. And when I rented the house from him, I realized that this guy, was one of those guys who can't be with one woman. He was married and he had a lot of different lovers. In fact, he would have different women coming every night. And she happened to be one of those women. And how do you know this stuff and keep it to yourself? How do you get the message to give to this individual? I had a dream. And when I called her to share the dream, she didn't call me back. And when I finally get a hold of her, she said that she heard a message that I had a dream, but she didn't want to hear it. So what do you do at that point? Do you force your dream on the person, or what do you do? And so it's easy for you to get into your feelings and say, okay, well, that's not my business. But I had a message to give her, and I did not give it to her because of what she said. Also, I would test to see if I could deliver this message by asking her questions so she could think for herself. And asking those questions, if anything, I think it pushed her away. She just didn't want to hear me talk about this thing. And not too long ago, something came to me, and how it was such a coincidence. Someone sent a picture of her on my Gmail, and it was my friend, and the person was saying some terrible things about her, the way she looked. This is someone who watches my YouTube channel and saw this person's Instagram picture and was making fun of her. It so happened that it was my friend. So I got to her, and I was making some suggestion to her without telling her why I was making the suggestion, and it cost us our friendship. It affected her. I was not rude in the way I said it. It was the way I would have said it if everything was at, the best between us. So it's not always easy bringing a message. It's not always easy to tell your friends the truth. But once you know that it's given to you, you have to set aside your own self, your pride, your ego, and you have to deliver the message. I also want to say that sometimes when a message is given to you, it doesn't happen right away. Folks, if they don't see the manifestation of it right away, then automatically become a liar, or you're trying to seek attention. Recently, I did a video and I got trashed on that video. There's one person, I swear, this person is like the devil himself. He just kept coming here, and I kept showing him kindness, and I kept trying to say, okay, well, this person doesn't really know me. Don't take offense to what he's saying. He wouldn't stop. He just wouldn't stop until, he was bringing out this thing in my spirit. And I am not allowing anybody to take control of my spirit that way, because what they say to me or what they're doing towards me, I'm still responsible for my own behavior. And so I deleted that person. I just let him go, because listen, where light is, darkness must show up. This is a message I have today. Wherever there is good, bad. Remember, there's no one side. If you look at all these different religion, you look at Hinduism, you look at, I think it's called Taoism. I think if you look at that, if you look at all these different spiritual awakenings, it teaches you that where light is, darkness must show. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind. But it's also a very lonely place, because when you're resistant to delivering a message, there's a consequence for you. And when you deliver it, there's still a consequence. There are times when I see something, and whether in my waking moments or in my dream, and when it comes to me and perplexes me and troubles me, and I'll say, I'm not saying anything. It's not my business. Leave it alone. And it's on me, and it's pushing me, and it's making me know, that spirit within me that stirs me. I speak. And sometimes right away, I see the manifestation of that. Now, with people, when you give them a message, if they don't see it right away, they start saying you're a fraud, or they start saying all kinds of things. They start giving it the side eye. There's so many people that I've delivered messages to, and they just brush it aside. They just ignore it, and they just ignore me too. And it's not about me. Not like I want them not to ignore me. I just don't want them to ignore the message. And so recently I delivered a message, and I got flack for it. Someone even wished that I would go dumb. And to be honest with you, I'm a human being. And so when I watched this individual hold her Bible and pronounce dumbness on me, I had to reject that right away. And it affected my spirit, because I knew that when I went there, I went from a good place, a place of love. But where there's love, there must also still be honesty and truthfulness. And the ones who cannot tell you the truth because they love you. They're not your friends. The ones who are there to encourage you in your slackness. If you're behaving badly, if you're just going off course or off track, you should have good people around you. Real, true friends will gently say to you, now listen to this. I think this is a good idea. And if you're saying something that they don't agree with, they should tell you, I don't agree with you. And you should still understand this is my friend. I can count on my friend to tell me the truth. So let me give you an example. I see women, who claims that they're good friends and they're all getting dressed to go out. And one friend does not look good. She doesn't look good. The clothes she's wearing is not appropriate for her body type. The makeup she put on doesn't look right. And those other friends see it and they will not tell her. There are women who see other women go into a bathroom, for example, and come out of the bathroom with toilet paper hanging from their skirt or hanging out from their stocking or whatever. And they call themselves friends. They say they will not tell that person. There are persons who know that their friend, has problems with body odor or things like that. And a simple way of telling your friend in a nice way. And they don't tell. People are sometimes scared to tell because they feel the person is going to be embarrassed. I'd prefer if my friend tell me something that's embarrassing than for the whole world to see it and I be subjected to that embarrassment. So for those of you out there who have your friends that you love and you want to tell them the truth about something, or family member, you want to tell them the truth, tell them the truth, especially if you feel it was a message that was given to you to deliver. Because those who show hatred towards you or disrespect you because you spoke to them and tell them the truth, they will come back one day and understand where you come from. My messages, I'm going to say this to you, they're not selfish and they're not delivered to gain attention from people. I don't want to do it. See, I'm not doing it happily to turn on my camera and to take and say things to people knowing that they're going to attack you or they're going to disrespect you. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. I'd rather not do it. But a lot of times I'm vindicated. A lot of times when I deliver these messages and I get the slight or get the disrespect or whatever, I'm vindicated. Some years ago, I had a dream with a friend and I dreamt that she was encouraging her child to have, to end a life within her. And I called her and spoke to her and tell her my dream. And she didn't really tell me anything. She just listened. And some years later, I heard from a very good source that her own daughter told someone very close to me that her mom had encouraged her to do the same thing I told her the spirit asked her not to do. So these are always confirmation. If you come to me with your dream, or you come to me with a story or whatever it is, and I don't respond to you right away, if I don't tell you what you want to hear, I have not done so because the spirit did not ask me to do it, did not confirm it. If it is not confirmed with me, I'm not going to say it. So I've had dreams before and I attempted to interpret those dreams and I never released it because you know what? The message was not to interpret anything for anybody, was to deliver the dream, and that the person who heard that dream would know what it meant, because then the confirmation was going to come to that person, not to me. Yeah, do you understand? I don't make things up. I don't make things up just to be noticed. And sometimes when I say things, I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping when I tell the thing, it's not like that. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's not always easy. You want to just walk away from it. Sometimes I challenge those within me and around me to say, why is this my business? Why aren't you showing me my own business? Because sometimes we can see other person's business and we don't see our own. Help me fix mine. But I've always had the same ones that show me how to escape traps and show me how to deal with or cope with certain things in life. If not for those ones and those spirit around me and in me, I wouldn't be here talking to you. From my health to my own personal life. I see the things that I need to see when they're important for me to see it. My guides, and whichever name you call them by, because we all have guides, they come and show me stuff and allow me to deliver warning to my own family to say, if this is happening, stop it. Because if you don't stop it, this is how it's going to end. To my children, I see these things. For example, my daughter is sick and, she's thinking nothing of it and wanting to brush it off. And in my vision, I see it before it even manifested in her. And so when she was ignoring the signs, I couldn't. I decided no. Same thing is true for friends that they've had that I would see in my vision. I remember dreaming about my daughter going to a house. And when she went to the house, I saw the woman, her friend's mom, stuffing her in an oven and closing the oven with her. And I barged in that house to open the oven to take her. When I asked her for my daughter, she said she was not there. And I said, yes, she's here. I saw you. I saw what you did. And I barged in and opened the oven, and there my daughter was. And she had a friend that for years I just didn't trust too much because of her mom, because of that dream. And so I would try to be gentle and I would try to instruct her and lead her, but she didn't really listen. You know how kids are. They don't feel like, no, my friend loves me or whatever. And eventually she saw too much time now where I have told her things and it manifested. So now I don't have to convince her too much or other members of my family. Okay. I don't enjoy putting out these messages. Just understand that I don't enjoy it. But I'm obedient because I can't afford to have those who protect me and guide me, who've been so good to me, to turn away from me. If a day or two passes and I'm not hearing from my divine guides, I'm saying, okay, what's wrong? Where are you? And so please understand that your faithfulness counts for something. And if you're the type of person who is more concerned about pleasing people and not pleasing divine grace, not willing to do the work of the universe, I feel pity for you. Because those who, attack me or go against me without cause have their own story to reckon with. I never pray for any God or any divine grace to hurt anybody because that's not the type of God that I believe in. I can't believe that I worship or reverence anything that is holy and ask it to do unholy things. A God will never hurt anybody for you. Whatever the person does to you that is harmful, it is that balance. It's that scale that will be tipped back to them. So whatever it is you do to other folks, your action spirals an action that is bound to match yours, not because God is punishing anybody on your behalf. In my opinion, it does not work that way. So if you do me hurt or you do me any kind of harm, I'm not going to ask God to harm you back, because then I just be as wicked as you. I will not pray a bad prayer for anybody. I've never done that. I've never prayed for anything bad to happen to anybody who's done me wrong. I've felt hurt feelings about it. I've withdrawn myself from people because I'm hurt or because they hurt me, but never at any point in my life do I wish evil on anyone. And when I see people wishing evil on other people, I start looking at you with a side eye. I don't judge you and condemn you because I know one day a revelation will come to you and that you will realize that the person who came to you with gentle guidance or instruction didn't mean you any harm. And if you wish them harm, you have to live with yourself and that God that you serve. And I said GAD, not God, God that you serve. If anyone hurts you, or deceive you or do anything to you, do not get down on your knees and pray any bad prayer for anybody. You're not going to ask that they be forgiven. You ask God to clean your heart so you can go through life with purpose. with an understanding that even that bad thing that happened to you had to happen for you to find your way, for you to get to where you needed to go. All right. So, hope you're having a blessed day. And whatever it is you're dealing with today, no matter how hurtful or painful, no matter how much people are mocking you or ridiculing, might want to ridicule you for whatever you say or do, just be patient. Ask for strength and pray. Stay blessed, everyone.